Thanks for joining us on this edition of National Focus. I'm Pearl Fontaine. Coming up, a new visa waiver agreement means easier travel between Dominica and Brazil. 17 young people successfully complete an adolescent health training program, and the issue of domestic abuse continues to be a concern for authorities. Stay with us for these stories and others right after the break.
Dominica is blessed with an abundance of water, but getting it to your home is an expensive venture. You have a responsibility to conserve water, to use it wisely. Remember the old adage, you never miss the water till the well runs dry. Think water, think life.
Thanks for staying with us. A visa waiver agreement signed on Friday, February 21st brings into effect new and easier travel arrangements for Dominicans and Brazilians. Signed by Secretary of State in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Alvin Bernard, and the Brazilian Ambassador to Dominica, His Excellency Jose Marcos Viana, the agreement marks a further step in relations between the two countries. The visa waiver arrangement means that residents of Dominica and Brazil can travel between the two countries for tourism or business with no need of visas. The Brazilian ambassador to Dominica, upon signing the agreement, stated that he looks forward to seeing hassle-free travel for both nationals.
I'm glad to announce that from now on, all Dominicans can go to Brazil without a visa as a tourist. And I hope to get here a lot of Brazilians coming as a tourist to Dominica with the signing of these documents.
Honorable Alvin Bernard, who signed on Dominica's behalf, revealed that discussions to that effect were being held for some time before the agreement's fruition last Friday.
Let me say how very pleased I am to sign this agreement on the behalf of the government and people of Dominica today. This process has been long in coming since we've established diplomatic relations with Brazil. We've been engaged in a number of discussions in various areas of technical cooperation. What this agreement will do today is to broaden the scope of this engagement, this bilateral relations. In that, it will give opportunities for tourism as well as other development activities.
According to the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Karine Prevost, arrangements previously applied only to diplomatic and official passports, but now applies to regular passports. The agreement requires that for stays exceeding 90 days, a special permission must be sought from the host government. It also says that the agreement can be suspended by the host government in matters of national security and public health. In more news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit says the DLP leadership has initiated several development programs which has made life easier for thousands of nationals island-wide. The Dominica leader was speaking at a recent graduation ceremony of several apprenticeship programs in Portsmouth.
This program came from the leadership of the Dominica Labour Party. Similar to the housing revolution, similar to the Yes We Care program, similar to the fact that every Dominican citizen 60 years and older and 7 and 18 years and younger do not pay hospital bills in Dominica. The fact that we have universal access to secondary education, and we provide free transportation to almost every single high school student in Dominica, paid for by the government. And we've made housing available to scores of Dominicans. We provided washrooms to hundreds of Dominicans. We provided housing assistance to thousands of Dominicans. Not because we are obligated to do so, but because the party which I have the honor to lead is a party that understands the struggle of the ordinary person and who cares about the people of Dominica. and who has gone out there to raise the required funding to finance this program.
At that same function, Minister for Employment, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, says government's apprenticeship programs have resulted in the empowerment of several single-parent families.
We're not there only to, give them the babies and to continue producing. That's not the plan only. That has to happen. You understand that? They are the ones raising our children. They are the ones that these Dominica Labour Party is empowering right now to help us to push the program. So I want to say to you young ladies here, you made your kids. That's okay because we have to make our kids. It's part of life. But we, as a government, saw it fit to provide that support for you, to empower you, so you can raise those children properly and raise the standard at your homes.
Meantime, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has appealed to fathers to take responsibility for their children.
You have to take your responsibility to care for your children. You cannot leave it to this man alone to take care of your children. You can't come and say you love the girl, you have children, the girl, and still go back. The children need the financial and emotional support of the fathers as well. And it is a shame to any man in the world, Dominica included, where a mother has to take the father of a child to court to give her something for this child every week, every month. You cannot do that.
In other news, the Minister for Tourism, Honorable Ian Douglas, has called for improved service within the hospitality sector. Honorable Douglas made the call as he addressed the graduation ceremony of Hospitality Arts Apprenticeship Program earlier this month.
You must always bend over backwards to ensure that the guests that you serve have a great experience in the destination. Because remember, at the end of the day, what we are offering to our guests and our visitors is our experience. The experience at our bars, the experience at our hotels, our restaurants, our tourism sites. They cannot bottle up Trafalgar Falls and take it back with them, or they cannot package Indian River and go home with it. But they will always remember the experience that they had in the destination, and that solely is your responsibility to ensure that the experience that you give to the guests is always world-class and can stand the test of time anywhere.
Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, in his address to the graduates, also appealed to the graduates to ensure that visitors have a good experience while on island.
You are going out in the service industry where you have to be providing service to the guests of your establishment. Respect for time, respect for self, and respect for people are going to be paramount. If you see a guest 20 times on the property, you have to greet him 20 times. You can't say, well, I just greet him, I can greet him again. If the guest is coming out of the door and you're going in, you should allow the guest to come out before you go in. Because it is his presence at your restaurant or your hotel that's going to determine how long you stay at this hotel or restaurant.
17 young people from the village of Pennville successfully ended an adolescent health training program last Saturday. The educational program, which commenced in May last year, exposed participants to key guidelines which would mold them into productive and responsible citizens.
The main objective of the program was to educate the young people on issues affecting their daily lives and empowerment of young people in order to assist them in making better choices in their lives.
The adolescent training program, which was organized by the Health Promotion Unit in collaboration with the Pennville Health Team, explored several educational subjects.
The program consisted of 11 educational health sessions. Facilitators range from different sectors in society. Example, youth officer, health educator, teacher, nurses, police officer, permanent secretary, environmental health officer, and drug prevention officer. Among the topics discussed were spirituality, self-esteem, developmental changes in adolescence, effects of computer on youths, dating and courtship, sexual transmitted diseases, and parents versus children relationship.
Drug Prevention Officer Edmund George shared a few encouraging words with the graduates. He admonished them to make the right choice to stay away from drugs.
Understand that if you want to get someplace in life, be positive. Drugs cannot be part of your agenda, of your schedule. Cannot be part of it. You must make that determination. You must make that choice. It's not a choice that will be made for you by your parents or your teachers. You must make that choice.
Participants in reviewing the adolescent training program confirmed that they are in a much better position to make more educated decisions about their lives.
We learned about the numerous health concerns that plague our youth today and the ways and means that we should try to avoid them and try to not get ourselves contaminated by such diseases. Also, sexual hygiene and drug abuse will both dwell upon in detail, and dating, self-esteem were some of the other topics that were discussed in the adolescent program. I'm sure that what has been instilled in us has not only been mentally noted, but also is going to be taken into practice in our daily lives.
Very importantly, they are convinced that drug use and abuse is not an activity they wish to engage in.
I can tell every youth that is there today, it is a good thing to stay out of drugs. Because as a young person, I was part of the drug group. And then to stay out of it, you have to tell yourself, first, I am going to stay out of it. And then you can take the advice of somebody else. But he cannot tell you to stay out of drugs and you don't want. So you have to be strong and tell yourself to stay out of it.
Adora Toussaint, parent of one of the participants, is proud of the accomplishments of the young people of Pennville. She encouraged them to use this as a stepping stone to future success in their community and, by extension, Dominica.
I want to tell you that around you are persons that you can lean on. I want to tell you that the community of Pennville is no longer the Pennvillian goat we heard about. It is a Pennville of productivity. It is a Pennville that is moving places. It is a Pennville that has made itself on the map. And I'm happy to know that my roots are from Pennville, and I can stand here this afternoon and say to the young people of Pennville, we are going to turn things around, not just in Pennville, not just on the north, but in the island of Dominica.
The participants were each presented with certificates of accomplishment during Saturday's closing ceremony. In other news, a parliamentary representative for the Roseau Valley constituency, Honourable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, has appealed to land developers to provide proper access to the sold lots. The Roseau Valley MP made the call during a recent interview with GIS News.
And so I want to urge persons who buy land from areas like that to demand from the developers that they must put in the infrastructure based on the price at which they're selling that land. If you're selling land at the cheap prices and the agreement is that the people put in their roads, that's different. But if you sell land at a particular price, it's expected of you that you have to put in some of the infrastructure, and that's critical.
Director of the Bureau of Gender Affairs, Rosie Brown, has told GIS News that the matter of domestic abuse continues to be an issue for authorities. Brown says a concerted effort is being made worldwide to deal with the social issue. She listed resolutions that, if accomplished, will see large steps towards the elimination of domestic violence.
To put in place measures, mechanisms that will provide support to victims, to put in place mechanisms that will seek to reform perpetrators, but also to seek to advocate for greater punishment where it's concerned, where that is necessary. Sometimes we are too lax about how the matters when they get to the court, how it's treated, and even our own attitude, the society's attitude to the issues, as though it is taken lightly.
According to the director, a collaborative effort is absolutely necessary in order to see results. The Bureau of Gender Affairs sees abuse as a violation of human rights and as an illustration of inequality, both of which are considered unacceptable.
People have the right to exist free of violence. That's a right. Right. Sometimes, because it is so commonly and accepted that people don't care about it, that we don't even associate it and make the connection. However, this is a human right matter when a person thinks that they can treat other people as they like anyhow, both in words and action, physically, otherwise. So that's a given. The situation with recognizing that we all are equal, we have our equal rights to exist, right? It's another thing that explains the question of equality. It doesn't mean that because you may be who you are, maybe you are a man or you are a woman who may have you feel you have more power or authority or control, that we have to dominate and we have to exert power by being violent in any way or bringing down or all of that. And all of this is violence. If we have to describe what they are, as I said, they are verbal, there is emotional and psychological, there's physical, there's sexual.
A World Bank report estimated that violence against women was as serious a cause of death and incapacity among women of reproductive age as cancer, and a greater cause of ill health than traffic accidents and malaria combined. This past weekend, the Bureau of Gender Affairs and its partners hosted a Below the Horn motorcade and rally as a form of activism against domestic violence. And that's the English segment of National Focus. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole, non moins c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Dominique si un arrangement et puis Brésil pour faciliter moun voyager entre ces pays-là sans visa. Agreement là si vendredi passé entre ministre l'État, honorable Senator Alvin Bernard et ambassadeur Brésil pour Dominique His Excellency José Marcos Viana.
Nous établi diplomatic relations avec Brésil. Nous déjà signé un argument pour faire diplomate avec d'autres officiels voyager au Brésil avec Dominique sans un visa. Mais nous trouvons nous besoin d'autres monde en chasse pour faire argument ça plus grand. Pour une plus bénéfice pour mon Dominique avec Brésil. Quand ça argument ça nous signe aujourd'hui que mettons en place un système pour tirer visa pour mon qui a voyagé hot Dominique qui a voyagé hot Dominique pour Brésil. Hot Brésil voyager Dominique.
Un autre nouvel projet de l'eau qui continue en communauté Viecas. Parole sans la sortie de officier relations publiques compagnie de Wasco Edward Regist.
Nous aussi nous un projet pour nous augmenter avec un système global pour village Viecas. Ça aussi c'est un projet là nous avons dépensé $1 million. Ça implique $1 million. Nous avons bâti un dame coton avec l'autre paille. Avec nous aussi qui a lié pipe pour tirer l'eau. Ça c'est un projet là nous deux différents monde qui a fait projet ça avec il a commencé avec nous a demandé ces monde en Viecas pour ça supporter projet avec pour faire cette qui projet ça qui supposé pour ranger système global pour mon véhicule.
Projet là, les Gombe aussi taper attention.
En l'allée en Gombe, nous finissons le projet ça, nous tenions un projet là de replacer pipe en l'allée même avec projet ça, ça a dit fini. Mais ça c'est projet d'Awasco, il y a deux différents projets qui étaient faits ensemble. Le projet d'Awasco c'était pour changer ces pipes là. Ça même fini. Il y a un autre projet qui est supposé fait pour ça, ranger chimie après nous fouiller chimie. Le projet ça n'a pas encore commencé, ça c'est un projet qui Public Works pour faire avec nous penser qu'il a commencé tout de suite pour ranger le projet ça. Mais le projet d'Awasco ça coûte nous plus de 10 millions de dollars avec nous tenir par la 23 personnes qui étaient employés à ce projet ça avec mon frère, il était bien content avec nous avons demandé ces gens là pour continuer pour supporter projet pour ranger chimie en Gombe.
On a une nouvelle, teacher Dominique qui a engagé EPI éducation technique, qui a apétouinement manier pour agir meilleur EPI ce sujet là. On séminaire semaine qui commence ici lundi, qui a organisé par le ministre de l'Éducation et organisation CTCP. Consultant Don Pierre Barnett, qui a collaboré avec le ministre de l'Éducation facilité traitement là. Si le nom officier consultant Dr. Don Pierre est autant important que teacher technical receive traitement à la manière de délivrer civique Kawaii à l'école. Le ministre de l'Éducation a commencé à implémenter civique en l'école secondaire en l'année 2012. Finalement, le gouvernement Dominique mettait mis en place qu'à cause de gender policy. Quand même si le directeur à Biola, Madame Rosie Brown, plaisir bagay qui a attention à la police là.
Gender policy là, comme ça, c'est il y a de la place pour some time. Et il y a différents, about 6 différents main area focus. Ici, nous supposons mettre en place, programme en place pour ça, ouais, changement en débat, hommes et femmes, comment nous avons traité avec situation, programme, traitement, hommes et femmes en pays là, en différentes manières. So, en manière health, nous avons en section la police la parler contre lui, en débat économie, police la parler contre ça, un débat violence, gender-based violence, famille et en société, police la parler contre, et aussi parler contre comment programme comme média, société, l'église, qu'a traité ces bêtises là.
Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson, Luce. Au revoir.
Should caring for your eyes be a part of your daily routine? Find out next in the tip of the day.
Together we build, together we strive. We see it all on your Government Information Service, Channel 7. This is the Government Information Service, bringing you all that you need to know about all that's happening in your country's development. GIS, you and your channel.
Considering how important your eyesight is, caring for your eyes should be a part of your daily routine. Thankfully, it's easy to take care of your eyes and it doesn't take much time at all. It's recommended that you get your eyes checked at least every 2 years. This goes for those with 20/20 vision. The truth is that even if you've always had perfect vision, your eyesight can start to decline. Stop squinting and forcing your eyes to work hard. This can take a toll on your eyes. They may not cause your vision to change, but these acts can lead to eye fatigue. And lastly, eat your veggies. It's not a myth. Carrots and other vegetables really are good for the eyes. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website at news.gov.dm. On behalf of our news production team, I am Pearl Fontaine. Thank you for watching.